All right, Marco, we've been getting to know a lot of your new teammates. We know you a little bit, but I bet we could get to know a little bit more.
I'm sure.
Your deep, dark secrets. My first question for you is an important one because this is one I've been dying to know for a long time. The Thanksgiving fried turkey. How did that
go? The house is still standing, so that was a major plus. But yeah, we usually deep fry a turkey every year, and it's kind of just a family tradition. And this year, Monica and I hosted our first Thanksgiving in the new house, and we had both of our families there. So there was like 10, 11 of us. So it was a lot of pressure in hosting, and Monica killed it. All the food was amazing, and my mom, who's a firefighter, was on standby around the turkey, make sure it all went smooth.
But she wasn't called into action?
She was not called into action. She was on standby.
What's the key to the perfect fried turkey?
I think it's the correct amount of oil in the fryer. You put too much in, it's going to overflow. You can't have a frozen turkey in there. It's just going to blow up in your face. So, and then also firefighter on standby.
Firefighter on standby.
Yes.
You brought up your mom, and I know we've talked about it before, but this is just such a great story.
Mm-hmm.
And your dad's a baseball coach, your mom's a firefighter. Firefighter was later in life.
Yeah.
Not that she's that late in life right now, but tell the story. She just came
Yeah.
home one day and said, "I'm going to do this."
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a little more of a process. It was, her talking to us about what her future looked like, and she just had this desire, which none of us really knew. She just had this desire of being a first responder and helping people, and just being, the first on the scene. And I think she just has that kind of instinct to just kind of act in certain situations. So she volunteered for about 5 years or so. 4 or 5 years, and then ended up getting a job in northern Colorado, and she's been there ever since. And now she kind of operates and oversees a small airport close to my hometown over there. So she loves it. It's a very high stress job, but now she's kind of transitioning. She's more on a standby position. She's not the first one in the door anymore. So lucky about that.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
What was that like when she was coming home with the training and everything? Did you help her with that at all, or?
I mean, it's just so different. But we tried to relate it to game-like situations where you kind of just let your adrenaline, you let your instincts take over, and she's really good at that. I think I get a lot of that from her.
What do you get from your dad?
My dad, I think more on the mental side of baseball, just kind of the feel aspect, and kind of just understanding, what my role is in the game, and how to pitch, how to mentally recharge after a game, a lot of those things.
And he's a AA pitching coach?
AA pitching coach
in the Rockies organization.
Yes.
How much when you were a kid did you kind of travel with him in baseball, or kind of sit next to him and what he was doing, or get into that?
A lot. Up until I was about 6 years old, I was traveling. My mom and me were on the road, minor league baseball, and he played in Taiwan, Venezuela. And so just, I grew up in the clubhouse, and my mom tells stories I could imitate everyone's swing on the team by the age of like 3, throwing and hitting off a tee, and it's just kind of what my passion was growing up. I wanted to be like my dad, and I loved baseball from an early age.
What was it like moving around so much? Do you remember that much? Or?
Not a lot. I've heard that I wasn't much help in moving all those times. I was more interested in just playing in the boxes at age 4 and 5. But I think it's prepared me to the uncertainty of what I do now. And kind of this lifestyle that me and my wife are going through now. It's prepared us a lot for the unpredictability of this job.
What do you think when you see like little Cruz Seager or Fraley's little ones running around?
I love it, and it brings me back, and it reminds me how much of an impact not only my dad but his teammates had on me growing up, and so it just puts a big smile on my face.
It's one of the things I love. When a little kid comes into the clubhouse, he's everybody's little kid.
Oh yeah, a bunch of uncles in that clubhouse, and it's awesome. It's such a such a family in there, and when everyone brings their kids in, it just reminds you that it's really, this is our life, and this is a family, and it brings us back to what's real.
When did you know that, I can do this? I can make a run at becoming a pro baseball player?
I think honestly, it wasn't until college when I really started to get scouted. But until then, I didn't really think that I was going to be a next level player. I kind of was always told that I didn't throw hard enough. There was nothing really, for lack of a better word, sexy about what I did. It was just kind of, I just pitched and I got guys out, and so I wasn't really projectable, and I've heard that a lot in my life. And so I think until college, I started to get some attention my junior year, and I think that just built some confidence. And once I got drafted, I really just kind of ran with it. And I said, I'm just going to prove to myself every day and prove everyone else, that doubted me, I'm going to prove them wrong, because I know that I can pitch a long time in this game.
Is that technically a chip on your shoulder, or do you think of it as something else?
I think so. It's hard to have hard to explain a chip on your shoulder when, I was a first rounder and I went to a D1 school, but for me, I looked around and I never thought that I could play with, the big guys. I never thought that I could, hang with the guys throwing 95, 100 miles an hour. I just never thought that was me. And so, I always amped up my competitiveness. I always tried to jump up the work ethic to match that. And so what I lacked in ability, I tried to, keep up in other areas and keep up with guys.
That competitiveness, did that come from within, or was there an example that was set for you, or is there somebody else that was?
I mean, growing up, I was thrown into some big games right away. When I was a freshman in high school, I pitched the state championship game, the final game. And I think ever since that moment, I realized that I was born to be in that moment. I was ready for it. I was swimming a little bit that first time, and but ever since then, I valued that moment, and I wanted it. I was ready, and I wanted the ball. And so I think for every game, I kind of take that mentality into it.
Same thing happened when you came up with the Cardinals, pretty much.
Yeah.
You get thrown right into the playoffs.
Yeah, that was, something I'll never forget, and it was really hard to wrap my mind around what was happening at the time. It just seemed like a blur, and looking back, I wish I would have kind of relished in that moment a little more, because it went by so fast. But since then, I'm trying to do everything I can to get back to that.
It's funny, you said that when you were coming up, you didn't have the most sexy pitches or anything like that. That's still kind of the book on you.
Yeah.
I don't mean that, because you're sneaky or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You've put up the innings, you've been durable, you ensure a good performance.
Yeah.
You are sometimes underappreciated, I think.
Sure. And I love that, because I love proving people wrong, and it's something that I really pride myself on. And it's been really, really tough to kind of fight through that and fight through people's stigmas of me, low ceiling, not projectable. But I think what people can't evaluate is my ability to learn, my ability to compete, and just my ability to grow in the game. I feel like every year since I've been healthy, I've gotten better, and I don't think you can judge that, really.
I think the word's getting out, and talking to a lot of the newer Mariners, they said you were talked about a little bit in other clubhouses. That other players understood that, but maybe not quite yet.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I want to fly under the radar. I don't want to be. I want not many people to know what I got. That way, I can continue to be sneaky.
At the same time, nice to be appreciated by the Mariners. I take it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get back to something that you were talking about in that competitiveness. Is there ever a time when that's gotten you into trouble?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think when I first came up, I really wanted to be a big leaguer. I wanted to pitch like a big leaguer. I wanted to strike everybody out. I wanted to avoid contact, and so in that, I didn't really know that I was kind of pitching timid a little bit, but I was trying to compete too. So I was kind of not on the same page with myself of what I needed to do and who I needed to be. And I think it wasn't until I came here that I thought, I don't know why I've always kind of been timid at pitching at the highest level. I need to be aggressive, and I need to go and use this fuel and compete with that. And so I think I kind of turned into a different guy when I came over here.
Yeah, it was interesting when you came over because you were coming off that surgery, and there was a lot of uncertainty at that point.
Yeah, and health-wise certainly, but me being the pitcher that I was at that time, I think there was a lot of question marks about what I could do at the big league level, and there was a lot of question marks in my head of if I could be the same guy or who I would be when I came back from the surgery. And so I just tried to run with that, and coming back from a year-long rehab, it changes you a lot, and I certainly appreciate my starts. Every time I'm out on the mound, I appreciate it, and I'll fight for that too.
In that regard, how are Taiwan and Kendall doing?
They're doing really great. I couldn't be, more proud of the work that they put in, and they've expressed to me how it's changed them. Both of them have missed significant time with this elbow injury, and so I love talking with those guys just because I can see in their eyes how much they've anticipated this moment, being back on the mound, and it makes me remember what I went through too. So we've been able to connect about that.
Wish you could have seen Sam Carlson the other day when
Yeah.
he threw down there. It was very emotional.
Yeah,
It took us all by
I'm sure.
surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It's a big moment, but
Yeah.
Kendall Taiwan doing great right now.
Yeah.
You seem to have an element of fun about you. How do you make things fun in the clubhouse and in the drills and going through everything that you do?
I mean, it's easy right now. We have so many young guys that are so lighthearted, and it's sometimes it's easy to take this game really serious and take yourself too serious. But this game is a lot about failure, and I think the guys who are really great in this game, they understand that, and they know that in order to be great, you have to move on from failure too. So I think the more fun you can have, the more lighthearted you can make it around here. I always laugh at guys who take themselves too seriously. Maybe on start days that's okay, but every other day of the week, you need to kind of lighten up and take it easy on yourself, because we put ourselves through a lot, failing so much in this game.
How do you unwind? How do you get away from it all?
I love hanging out with my wife and my dog, and just being home, being away from it. I think in order to give yourself, give 100% of yourself to this game, I think you have to get away from it and recharge. So we're big winos. We love to go explore dinner spots. I love traveling, so anytime I'm in a different city, I love to go find a good coffee spot, go get some good food. Just kind of be present in the moment.
I love that you guys went to Europe a couple of years ago. So many players don't take advantage of
I
the
know.
time that they have, and it's great to see the world.
Yeah, and my wife and I, until we grow our family, we want to make sure and try to take a trip every year, go see the world, go see what's out there. So.
What's on the map? What would you like? What is the one place that you absolutely someday I have to go here?
I mean, going to Italy, I realize that's probably my place in the world. I'm probably going to end up there. If you ever lose me, I'll probably be in Italy somewhere drinking wine. But I think what's next for us is maybe a Thailand trip, maybe Southeast Asia, somewhere in there. Maybe not very soon, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. But eventually, I'd like to explore that area.
Fantastic. Would you ride an elephant?
Absolutely. Love all animals. I'll ride anything.
I don't think I've asked anybody else that.
I don't think so.
Do you make gumbo? That's been asked a lot too. You got a couple of guys that do.
Yeah.
You need to have a showdown. You've got a lot of cooks in there.
I know, we do. Yeah, we got a lot of guys who think they know how to cook.
Am I missing anyone? Taylor Gilbo, apparently. I mean, he loves to cook.
Yeah.
He will spend all day making something.
Yeah.
Nola just made his first gumbo.
Awesome.
Melted the spoon, but made his first gumbo.
Classic.
Who else in there cooks?
Oh, I don't know. I think I see Graveman being a subtle cook. I see him being a good chef. I mean, he's good at like everything, so I don't know what he's not good at. So
Taiwan does too. Now that I think about it,
there you go.
Shures.
Yeah.
And Austin Nola, who does everything. Last question: when you look at everything that's around you and everything that the Mariners are trying to get to right now, how do you put this year into perspective for yourself?
It's hard. I think going forward, in order for this team to be great, I think we all need to find out how we can help the team in the best way. And I learned last year that for me, taking the ball every fifth day, making every start, being reliable and durable, that's what I need to do. Not much will change this year. I'm going to go out and win every fifth day, at least try to win. And, I won't accept anything less. And I think that's how we change the culture. That's how we change into a championship team. And going forward, I just hope that rubs off on the rest of our guys too.
Me too. Looking forward to seeing it.
All
Marco,
right.
thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.